Now, I think that was pretty good, but I know we can do better. Good evening, friends! That's more like it. Good evening and welcome this Thursday to Littleport Christian Spiritualists, a place of enlightenment, upliftment and community where we come together to connect with those in the world of the spirit, those that we think we have lost, but are still watching over us, keeping an eye on us, and in many cases giving us grief for the things that we've forgotten or haven't done. It is a place where we come to for many different reasons, but the one thing that we always come together for in this place is love, truth, light, and community. And so, welcome one and all. And of course, welcome to everyone watching online, who are joining us online. I know there's a few already made some comments, and I'll share the ones I haven't yet when I sit down and shut up, which will be in a while yet, so don't get too excited. But let's begin, of course, by welcoming a friend of ours. It's been a good day or two, but he's back. He's our friend, and he's our medium for tonight. Give a big Littleport welcome to Colin Boswell! And I know you will send your love, upliftments, and your thoughts to him throughout the evening as he does the work of spirit. And of course, we are here to do the work of spirit. So let's begin, as we always do, by opening this evening in gentle prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love, of hope, and of friendship, to witness your proof and your truth that life is indeed eternal. As we open this service, we ask for healing for all those that are present, all those that are watching, and all those that could not make it tonight for their own and various reasons. For we know that love is eternal, light is eternal, and the healing light of spirit is indeed eternal. So as we place this service in your care and keeping, we make the statement as ever that everything we do is in love, truth, and light. Amen. Well, friends, some notices. There is a number of events are coming up. I posted this afternoon the debate and the workshop that are both online. Thank you to Eunice for correcting my calendar. Some people, I don't know who, but some people can't tell the difference between a Tuesday and a Sunday. But thankfully Eunice could, so told me to fix it. So the debate is on the 24th of October and the workshop is on the 29th of October. But of course, this week we've got something coming up even soon. We have, I'm talking about the online workshop, not the physical sit-down one. You know, that's not until next month now. We've already done that one. But there will be another one of those next month too. But coming a lot sooner, of course, is the White Feather Drum Healing Circle getting together this Sunday, in fact. Next Sunday, in fact. Oh, come on, it's me. You should know by now. That would, tell you what, Barry, that's your job from now on. Big cue cards, I'll print them off, you can hold them. You can drop them down like they do on those TikToks. But yeah, not this week. It would normally be this week, but it's not for another reason. But it is the week after, on the 22nd of October, which is going to be the usual drum healing plus, followed by a celebration of one of its co-founders, our friend Alan. So if you're interested in getting together and banging for joy and upliftment, then that will be the place to go. And I know I'll get a slap later for that one. Of course, the reason it's not on this week is because on Sunday, at the Wavertree coffee shop in the Newmarket Stud, there's going to be a big event with a number of local reputable mediums. The lovely, pardon? No, I didn't say all of them. I just said a number of them. So we've got the lovely Linda Rose is going to be there. You've got Della Thompson is going to be there. You've got the lovely Lisa Snowflake Checkley going to be there. And apparently some bloke in a dog collar who's seen around the internet from time to time, he's going to be there as well. He's the unreputable one, he's the duffer. But yes, so that's on Sunday. The tickets all sold out again, aren't they? Wow, isn't that good? Isn't that good? It's nice to see events going well, and it's great to be supporting your event, so well done. So yes, that's the notices. I don't think there's anything else to mention. Other than next week, our medium is Louise Perry. So look forward to seeing Louise next week. So it's at this time of the evening, of course, where I say a few words. And of course, the reason I did the notices early rather than late is because I ain't got a clue what I'm going to say. Because sometimes I try and put things off a little bit when I'm getting myself prepped and ready. It's been a busy couple of days, a busy couple of weeks with lots going on. And when you're busy, you don't tend to think about what's going on. You just get on with it. But the truth is, just getting on with it isn't always enough. Just ploughing through is not enough. There are two words that have been coming up consistently, even out of the mouths of some people present here today. Connection and acceptance. Those are two things that human beings crave. It's also two things that human beings deserve. To be connected, to be accepted for who they are. When it comes to connection, I'm preaching to the converted. I look around this wonderful hall with all the wonderful people filling it up, and I know that there are so many connections, so many links, not just with the world of spirit, but down here. Trust me, the amount of time Mum moans at me for getting home at 11:30 on a Thursday night, and that's if we haven't gone on a little bit of an outing over to a certain retail park far away, shows that there are connections, because we all stop, have a chat, have a yak, talk about what's gone on, talk about life. We connect. And of course, within spiritualism, we connect in other ways to the world of spirit, to the great spirit, whatever name you give to it, an image. Connection is everything. When the ability to connect breaks down, another form of connection invariably rears its head. From the animalistic nature of humans, because regardless of whether we've been to the moon or not, regardless of whether or not we use computers, regardless of whether or not we can stand on our heads with our feet against the wall and record a TikTok of ourselves dancing, we're animals. We are flesh, blood, bone beings born of an animalistic nature. We've got the pack mentality. We've got fight or flight. All of these are part of our nature as fleshy, bony beings. So when connection breaks down on a higher level, invariably humanity defaults back to those ways of being. But we should strive for more. And we do strive for more. Because the connections that we have when we throw off the fetters of our physical nature and realize that we are more than just the sum of our parts, we make connections that we never knew possible. And the possibilities, my friends, are endless. Because in this world, in this life, if we realize that we are just a simple spark within a great mechanism of flame that is pure energy, we realize that we can go back to a more basic state that doesn't include our animalistic nature. To simply exist, to want to know, to seek, to find, and not to yield. That, as Tennyson said, is the goal. If we let go of our physical nature and realize that we are beings of light and of energy, we can transcend that at all times. It's not always going to be easy. And sometimes that snarl will come up from within us to say, no, mine, my way. But the more we fight that, the more we deal with that, the more we understand why it's there, the more in control of ourselves and the world in which we live we will have. Because we have to remember, as many of my friends in my old circles that I used to wander in would know, our thoughts have power over the universe. Our emotions and our feelings and what we are thinking will influence not just ourselves, but those around us. We know that in psychology, by the mood in which we exude will come back on us. But we also put that energy and that thought into everything we come into contact with. Trees, plants, animals, furniture, the floor, the ground, the halls, the buildings, even objects that are deemed to be quite powerful of their own right can be turned to dust by anger. But when we put love out into the world, when we exude love into the world, that's what we get back threefold. And yes, I'll keep using that triple term because it's well known in many different ways of life. The law of threefold. When you put something out, it will come back to you 3 times. So put love out to the world. Put patience out to the world. Put connection out to the world. But most of all, put acceptance out into the world. And it will always come back to us 3-fold. As much as people might be concerned by what path Nick is taking recently with all these little quotes, you're darn right, my friends. I'll quote anything that matters and makes sense. So when you go out there putting your thoughts into the universe, remember a very, very, very old rule. And it harm none. Do as you will. God bless you all, and thank you for listening. And so, friends, now is the time in our service when we ask somebody to step forward and do a reading. But I've just realised I haven't done that. We ain't got to... But when you say in a panicked state, I haven't asked anybody to do a reading this week, there's always somebody to stick the finger in the air because they've got one. So please give a proper Littleport welcome to Esther.
Tonight's reading is called The Way of Life. Life is strange with ebbs and flows. The wax and wane, it comes and goes. The seasons change, we change, we grow. It's give and take, we reap, we sow. But everything's not black and white, there's many shades and many types. And many ways to live this life, so who's to say mine isn't right?
Wowza! Thank you. Well, that really links in, doesn't it? You're on form this week. Lovely. Hearing the word wax and wane always reminds me of a certain thing to do with a silver coin in the moonlight. But it never worked for me because I'm still a size 40. But never mind. Thank you, Esther, for a wonderful reading. Well, now, my friends, I'll tell you later, Barry, don't worry. But I'm sure you've got a rough idea what I'm on about. No, you don't. I'll tell you later. Now is the time, of course, my friends, where we send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. There are a number of people that have been written down in the book this week for their names to be thought of with healing. There are a number of our friends here at this church who need to be thought of with healing, both at present and either watching online or not here tonight. But of course, I don't do this bit. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Tony in a second. Would all those who wish to give healing, please raise yourselves up, make your way to the back of the hall and prepare yourselves. And those that wish to have some healing, please get ready to stick your hand up at the appointed time. As I say, I'm going to hand over to Tony.
We've had some healers. Have we got some recipients? Raise your hand. Yeah, don't be shy. It won't hurt, I promise. Well, it didn't last long.
There you go.
Healers, help yourselves. Sort yourselves out and know where you go. Just a few words before they make a start. Where groups of like-minded people such as us are formed, they will grow. And as they grow, love, compassion, and the gift of healing will grow exponentially. So, Great Spirit, we ask for all those that are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, whether they be here or not here, heal them now. been healed, if you can just bring those hands back. And as I say every week, thank you to those of you who ask.
Thank you to the healers, thank you to those who did ask, and of course thank you to Tony for leading the healing. And thank you to everyone at home for sending out your healing thoughts and asking for healing too. Well, friends, do you know what? I think people are going to get more and more worried as the weeks go by. And not only was I on time, which meant early tonight, we're actually 5 minutes ahead of schedule again, which is always useful. So I'm afraid it means you've got to do a bit more work, but I'm sure you won't mind. In a moment, I am going to hand over the rest of the evening to Colin. But of course, some important points to remember before the demo of mediumship. Should we need to evacuate the buildings, our exits are here, and here. If, of course, the curtains start twitching, the chairs start spinning, and I start floating, somebody grab me by the ankle and drag me out the front door because I want to be the first one out. But most importantly, my friends, have an uplifting, wonderful evening of connection, of spirit, and of friendship. And give a warm, uplifting, loving welcome to our medium this evening, the one and only Colin Boswell!
That's it. What an introduction that was. Blimey. God, spent good money on that. Well, I'm a bit of a quirky medium. I work differently to anybody else that I know. And one such way that I do work differently is that I give anybody that gets a message this evening the opportunity to ask Spirit their very own question. So at the end of that message, I'll ask you if you have a question that you wish to ask. I can hear your mind ticking away there nicely. So if you have a question, I'd prefer that it had a yes or no answer, and Spirit will elaborate on that if the need arises. And I'd also like to invite you all to bring your loved ones in. Ask all those ones that you wish to connect with this evening, just ask them to join us. And just put the turnstile on the door so they can pay close attention to the door. And anyway, as I sat there, healing energy just died, absolutely fantastic. And it was really wonderful. But my awareness is drawn to a gentleman and face to, and the lady as well. And both come close to, I feel I've got mum and dad here with me. And the lady's a little short, in the journey. She was in her well years, she was a little broad in her build. Gentleman a tad slim. And he's thought me to see him. And she's very chatty. She's very close to me. She's very chatty, very animated. And so I feel that she's somebody who can watch. She'd meet a neighbour and you'd have to tear her away. Tear her away from the conversation after a couple of hours. She's just somebody who just likes to have a good old joy. And I do know that her passing was caused as a result of a cancer condition, which I mentioned earlier. I seem to get an awful lot more people with cancer just now. Can you read that information both with both mum and dad on the street side? And mother was a bit short, she's fine. Dad's, I think straight back when he stands here, somebody's quite sort of well turned out as well when he comes close to me. Can you read that information both mum and spirit? And mum, when she animated one person, and converse with friends, and the very being active individuals, some of them. Anybody take this information? Mum and Dad both on the spirit side. Mother would have had a cancer condition. Father would, I feel, have been in his younger years certainly quite a smoker, and because I'm getting that sort of feeling with his throat, with his breathing, with laboured breathing. Can anybody take this information at all? I feel I'm on this side of the room, but I'm quite happy to open it further afield. Anybody with me on this so far? Mum and Dad. Feel I'm with you, do you, sir? Would I be right with Mother being slightly shorter than Dad? And very much this wonderful, warm-hearted soul. I mean, it really was open house with her. If people came round and the tea was plentiful, the biscuits were plentiful, can you accept that? And I feel also she was somebody who used to love making cakes and used to love doing things in the kitchen to entertain and to make you welcome. Would you accept that? And I feel home life was quite basic, quite Spartan, but always warm and loving. Would you accept that with this person? Would you accept that Father is actually standing there, well turned out man, not slovenly sort of, and he's wearing a shirt and he's wearing a tie and he looks rather dapper. Would you accept that with him? Shoes are polished to a treat. Would you accept that? And as they come close, a great deal of warmth from both of them, directed in your direction there, sir. And leading to me to believe that in some capacity in your life at this moment, there's been some kind of turmoil, there's been some ups and downs that have kind of been, to some extent, way out of your control. Would you accept that? This causes you anxiety, to keep you awake at night, to keep you thinking of it when you're in your working day hour, it still keeps coming into your mind. Would you accept that? And they just kind of come through to kind of quieten things down, just to sort of help you to cope. And because they know it's having, to some extent, an adverse effect on your health and well-being. Would you accept that as well? It's having an impact, you know. But your mum is so caring. Your mum is someone who always thought of you in the physical. Can you accept that? She would always be on the phone and checking that you're okay and everything is all running smoothly. And just in the same way, and from the spirit realm, she still does the same things. She has not lost that level of duty that she always had towards her family. And your dad's much the same, much the same. I do feel to some extent it's a little more inclusive. Would you accept that with him? Yeah. Whereas Mum is a little more, as I say, quite a lot more, in fact, reaching out. And it's an issue with somebody close to you that also has a serious health issue. Am I right? Somebody's got something wrong, deal with, to do with heart condition. Would you accept that as well? Like an arrhythmia, something like that, something where there's something that just got to, needs somebody to draw breath. Can you accept that as I give that information? Yeah, it feels like it's kind of to do with the ticker in this, as I'm being told. But I must say that this lady, the care and attention to what's going on in your life is the same as it's always been. It's just not on the end of a telephone anymore. It's just not that she needs to come and call at your door. She is just as attentive to you, your needs, and those of those around you as she ever was. It will never change. It's always going to be the same. And as I connect with her, I do feel that she's somebody that had a very strong moral compass. Would you accept that with her? Yeah, a very strong moral compass. And she hated injustice. Would you accept that? Used to make her blood boil, she's telling me. And but honestly, I'd like to get some more messages in this evening. And but just take this lady's love. Just know that she's watching over you. just know that everything is in control. Everything is under control. And if healing is ever needed, well, that healing energy tonight is just fantastic. Just draw it. Just draw upon it. But always be grateful. Always say thank you. To everything that's positive that comes your way, just say thank you. And if it's negative, still say thank you, because you learn from it. So thanks for working with me. And do you perhaps have a question? You don't. But if you think of anything, just pipe up later on. Okay? That's lovely. Thank you. Ah, lovely. Oh, there's marvellous energies in here. It's just like being on a spirit internet. And I'm connecting now with somebody that's stepping forward to speak to somebody here. And it's a lady that's coming in here. And as she approaches me, she's letting me know that her daughter is here, and she wishes to speak to her. I do know, as she comes close, that she's not been passed for that very long, a couple of years or so, 2 or 3 years. And as she comes close, I do know the name Rosie somewhere connects with this lady. It may be her name. I've just got the name Rosie given to me, so I'll pass that on. And I do know that her passing had, I feel there was a dementia issue there, and I do feel there were some other issues with her health. So I don't necessarily feel that dementia was what went on her death certificate, but I do feel that dementia was an attributable cause to her passing. Can anybody take this information so far as well? There will be dementia with this lady, some issues with her ability to remember short term, as long as she could talk about things that went on 40 years before with absolute clarity. So somebody would know this, and one of you ladies has a mother that would have passed with a dementia condition, as well as possibly other attributable conditions. I'm over there, aren't I? The lady with the spectacles there, with the blonde hair, would this fit with you? A lady with a condition destabilising with her standing up, ability to feel, she would feel dizzy, she would feel uncertain. Can you accept this? No. How about the lady next to you? Your mother's in spirit though, isn't she? Yeah. Would I be right that there were some kind of more than one health issue that would have taken her to the spirit realm? Pardon? Yeah. So I think I'm with you. I just feel quite comfortable in that direction. And would I be right with her as she comes close to me, and indeed wishing to connect to you, that she was always somebody that was there for you? Can you accept that? I mean, she really was always there for you. And she was somebody, rather like the last connection, where she had time for other people. Would you accept that? And I feel quite strongly that her loss had a long and profound effect on your life, and it still has. Would you accept that? Or would I also be right that her passing wasn't so very long ago? 6 years. But I feel that still her loss is still greatly reflected in your mind. Would you accept that as well? And you still think of her at times and still dream of her as though she's still here. Would you accept that as well? And because she knows, she comes close to you, and she comes close to you a lot. And I feel as you sleep at night, she very often comes so close to you to give you a kiss. Would you accept that? And why was yellow such a favoured colour to your mother? yellow was such a favoured colour. I can see her wearing yellow sweaters. I can see her wearing yellow quite frequently. Would you accept that? Particularly the baby soft yellows, the kind of the primrose, the sort of gentle yellow. Would you accept that with me? But a lovely soul. And as she connects to me again, is there an issue around with you to do with children or a child? And there's something, it's kind of a behavioural issue. Would you accept that to some extent? Something, do you know what I mean? Concentration, ADHD kind of thing. Something like that, where a child's a little bit more kind of, no, you can't accept that. I'm being made aware of that. And yeah, it's something to do with something almost as though it's not excessive, but it's something that has caused problems for the parent. Would you understand that? No. I'll come back to that in a minute. Also, there's some issue going on at the moment with an insurance situation. Would you understand that? Yeah. But there's something going on with insurance at the present time that's kind of cooking in the background. That's right. But she's telling me about this. There's also something to do with an electrical problem in your home. Can you accept that? Something that keeps throwing the tripper out, keeps sort of popping, your lights keep going off. But something keeps playing up. You haven't got a Tesla in the garage that sort of keeps sparking away or anything like that. No. But it just keeps sort of something's not kind of quite right. You know? Can you accept that? Yeah, I'm being made aware of it. You see, get the candles out just in case. But as she comes close, she's always there for you. She's always there, always giving you that love, always giving you that support. And you know that, don't you? And as I look at you, you see this evening, you've got this most expansive blue aura around you. Not only are you wearing blue, but it's gone right into your whole energy or field around you. In fact, it's way more expansive than your own physical frame. And I know that caring nature that your mother had is passed on to you in just the same capacity. Would you accept that as well? You can relate to that. And who is it at the moment that's trying to write something like a book or something autobiographical? Can you accept that? Somebody's doing that. Somebody close to you, if it's not yourself. Am I right? And they're trying to compile things. They're like me, a bit lazy, don't keep a diary. And they're trying to sort of clarify when certain things happened in their life. Can you understand this, where I'm coming from? Yeah. So I'm being made aware of this. And these are little idiosyncrasies about somebody's life that enable people to walk away and say, wow, there was information there that proves that there's a spirit side watching over us. And that sort of clarity is important, that because the whole thing is an experiment, an exercise to prove to those who are perhaps uncertain, skepticism. And boy, was I skeptic at one time. And then when you suddenly do feel that you've been converted, changes your whole life, doesn't it? It's fantastic. But thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for working with me. And also, your mum would just love to give you the most beautiful, bright red rose. And just accept her love. Do you have a question at all? You don't? No. Okay, thank you. Thanks for working with me. If you have a question later, don't sort of be frightened to ask. Right. Just have to wait for that spirit to depart and the next one to arrive. Yeah, yeah. I have a younger individual stepping forward now. It's a young man. This man, I feel, was only around about 27, 28, so quite a very young chap, getting up towards his 30s, I feel. I feel there was a catastrophic injury to this man's head. I do feel that's road related, something like that. It just feels a very severe injury to the left side of his head. Yeah. Very sudden, very unexpected. A great upset with that, and way beyond the family as well, way beyond the family. A very popular young man. So there were a lot of friends, associates and contacts that would have been bereft at this loss of this young life. Mousy-haired young chap, blue eyes. So I'd describe him as blonde, but more of a mousy hair colour with him. I don't think his passing was immediate, but wasn't long after the situation. I getting all this their sentience with him difficulty breathing at the end. So I do feel there was some medical help initially given to him that failed. Did anybody take this information? Very young man, only around, I feel under 30. Would I? He was younger than that, but certainly a very dynamic young lad. Would you accept that? Sport mad as well with this person as well. Would be down the pub looking at the TV with his mates, that kind of thing. Would you accept that with him? And as he comes close, that sudden impact to his head didn't take him immediately. I feel that we had paramedics and we had people there on the scene to kind of pardon? Yeah, on his motorbike. But I do feel there was some degree of medical intervention, first of all, which failed. Would you accept that? Yeah. And but a lovely young man, a lovely young soul. And I feel as he connects here that he wants those that loved and knew him to know that he's still there, to know that he's still happy, that he's enjoying his life again. And he certainly enjoyed his life here, didn't he? He certainly enjoyed his life. And it wasn't only sport that was his forte, his bike was his pride and joy. And I feel that it wasn't a bike brought into the kitchen. Can you relate to that? It was, yeah. They always do, don't they? People have bikes, they've always got to bring it in and work on it and tinker with it at any time of the day or night almost. It's kind of a preoccupation with him, with his bike. And he just loved it. And it was immaculately kept, wasn't it? And as he comes close, I do know that the ricochet of his passing was widespread. I mean, really was. And I know that the funeral service was more than packed capacity. It's kind of outside. You accept it as well. And the sadness, the loss of this precious young soul is still felt now. Would you understand this? It truly is. But he was kind of, some of that people gravitated towards. He just had this kind of energy, just had this buzz, and he just had this unique attraction to people of all ages, all sexes. They just loved the man's company. Would you accept this? But I do feel he was a very industrious young man, very intelligent. Would you understand this? Bright as a button, but he's telling me, bright as a button. And but it just wants you to know that he's well, he's safe. And he's got a whole new handle on life that he had before, because all those things that were in the physical and that were exciting to him, it's all changed. And he's kind of mellowed to what he was. He's mellowed. It's really kind of strange. It's like an old head on a young body. Do you know what I mean? He's transformed, and he has transformed. And the wonderful thing that he does is, like so many in the spirit realm, they're around you all the time. They just come close all the while. And I know you're just tuned in as a DAB radio. You know when spirit's around you, and you've only got to think of this young boy, and he's there. He's there. You've only got to think of anybody that you've lost. Now there, they just come around you, and you feel them, don't you? You feel them. Just like daughter, you've passed that same gift on to your girls, and just know that it just wants you to let everybody know that you possibly can, who he meant so much to, that he's happy, he's well, and he'll always help them and come close if they ever need him. Okay. That's lovely. Thanks for working with us. And do you have a question? Pardon? If he's met his gang. I asked the same question 3 times, and yeah. He has, but they're not together all the time. Can you accept that? Kind of on the other side, different agendas, doing different things that fire them up, and he's seeking advancement in new ways, new things, new interests on the spirit realm, in the spirit realm. But yes, the earthly connection will always be there, but the spirit connection leads him into new forays on the other side. Okay? Thank you. That's lovely. There's a lovely energy in here, isn't it? It's a bit special, isn't it? It's lovely. I'm just connecting with a gentleman who steps forward now, and as he connects with me, I do feel this man had a number of health issues towards the end of his life, but the one that took him was heart related, and I do feel there was some circulatory problems. I do feel there was initially he would have had like palpitations, and I think the nature as a man was that he didn't say anything about it. He tended to keep all these health worries to himself. And he never shared those with those closest to him. So by the time that he sought medical attention, his situation was becoming increasingly advanced. And though he was on medication, I know, for quite some lengthy period of time, I do feel that gone kind of over the precipice, and the condition could be controlled for a while, but never truly ever was cured. Can anybody take this information here so far with somebody with mainly this sort of heart problem, heart irregularity? I do feel I'm over here, yeah. And would you accept that with this problem with his ticker? And he keep everything inside. He never used to share. He never used to tell anyone. Whether it was because he had this kind of felt he was a bit impregnable. Would you accept that with him to some extent?
Not impregnable,
but
just
yeah. And would I be right that he left it a little too late before he sought medical attention? Yeah. But I've got the name David that connects with this man. Would you accept that? Yeah, there's a David that connects with him. There's also a George that connects with this man somewhere. Can you accept that? Somewhere. You can't. I think you'll find if you just sort of, I think the George will pop up somewhere there, because I've heard that clairaudiently. And this is, as I've said before, it's a bit like family favourites, because people that are connected to him kind of come forward to try and be remembered, you see. And you bring a spirit entourage in with you, and they all kind of want to sort of put their, I'll get a mention. And yeah, February the 8th is a date of significance as well. February the 8th. I'll go a day either side, but no more than that. So that part of February should be a day that you can equate to there. Yeah. I'm being shown that. But this kind of stubbornness with him, this kind of with this man, it was reflected in other parts of his character as well. Would you accept that as well? Because I wouldn't say he was difficult. I just feel he was kind of introverted. That's right. Yeah. But the more for that, people liked him. Would you accept that as well? People liked him, and his passing once again caused the suddenness of it. It was unexpected. Would you understand with that? And he was even himself shocked by that passing. That's strange. No. But it's really odd that some people, their passing takes some time for them to digest what's happened. And he had plans that weren't able to be fulfilled. Can you relate to that? Things that he wanted to do, things that he inspired to do, that never got fulfilled. Yeah. That's how I feel with him, you see, and that comes through with But as he connects with me now, who's Joyce?
That's my aunt.
That's your aunt, yeah. But these two individuals knew each other. Yeah. Joyce is on the other side of our. That's right. Yeah. Because once again, somebody else wants to mention. December the 9th is another date of so not long before Christmas, and but I'm going back a number of years with this. I'm trying to 10 to 20 years, quite some little while, and so not long before Christmas. So I do feel this is somebody stepping off the perch, for want of a better word, and somebody with 3 budgerigars, and somebody was lost at that time of the year, not long before Christmas, a lady. You're not aware of, but I think once again, like that name, it will come to the fore when you think of it. But he's coming forward, obviously, with a reason, and that reason relates to a lady who's still here in the physical side, and his care and attention at the moment is directed at this lady. Can you understand this? And this lady will be suffering with some debilitating condition, and he wants to just bring that help that he can, the healing and the comfort to this person. I do feel this lady is actually quite suffering. Would you accept this at the moment? She's in some degree of kind of constant care on the medical side, because I'm being told this. And there's actually there's quite a spiritual entourage around you, sir, this evening. You've actually, when you walked through the door, you sort of brought in quite a few, so they knew that you were going to get a connection. And I don't know if this gentleman, incidentally, is one of those. I asked everybody to think of somebody that they would like to connect with. Would this be somebody that you may have just come into your mind?
There's always one person.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm going back in time to a memory with a Ford console or a Zephyr. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
A Zephyr. It's because they're a very similar looking car. Kind of mid-60s, late 60s era with that. They're just showing me this. And it's a real dapper looking piece of car, isn't it? Piece of kit, this motor. And I'm being shown this just to for you to kind of reminisce, if you like, about this. And seafront at Yarmouth. Can you relate to that? Somewhere around there. It just feels, yeah. Just a connection. There's a photograph of this car with this gentleman. Can you equate to that somewhere? You can't. So I'm being shown it, standing in front, with really very proud of this car. Light colour, would I be right? Kind of cream, light grey, something like that. You can't, no. But as I say, I just want you to know that there's so much healing needed these days that their power is immense from the other side. Their power is really intense, and wherever they can, they bring that wonderful healing energy from the other side to help those here. And they don't like to see any of us struggle. We're here to enjoy our lives as much as we possibly can. And even though he could be a bit of an oddball character in certain ways, certain things people used to sort of remark on how he could be a little bit awkward. I'll use that term. But he's brought a lot of love in tonight to help in this situation. So thanks for connecting. Do you have a question, by the way? You think I? Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks very much. Sorry? Right, okay. Right. It never takes long to connect in here because you brought so many of your loved ones in with you. and you really did. I've got so often, I don't like when I bring so many youngsters in, but unfortunately it's the case this evening. I have a girl, very tender years, I don't think even older than 20. And I think she passed with it like a viral type illness, something like that, something that was quite severe, fairly quick. Kind of, if I were to sort of say what I felt it was, kind of meningitis-y, something rather like that. And she's very young, very, very young, and she was lost to a very severe case of this illness. Can anybody take this information? Not very tender young years, and yeah, I do feel that she had. She was in hospital when she would have passed. I do feel the medical fraternity was sort of looking after her, doing their very level-headed best. I feel that she was on courses of kind of antibiotics and as such. Can anybody understand this? Was that you, was you, sir? Again, you moved your hand there. Was that? No, it wasn't you. No. But anybody take this information? This young lady was attacked by something virulent and something that is very young, active, and strong individual. But this caught her very, very suddenly. Over there somewhere. Can anybody take this? A young lady, very tender years. I'm happy to go a little bit higher in age, but I feel, very, very young, and was knocked sideways very quickly. The onset of this illness was very sudden indeed, and it came on almost like in hours. So there would have been a real shock with this onset of this. And I liken it to meningitis, but it's something like that. Something would have affected the mind. An enormous burning temperature, way up in a high, sort of dangerous area there with and the efforts to stabilise that and to sort of bring her back down to safe level was never achieved. Anybody take this over there? I'll go wider, of course, but I just think very young, very, very young, and passed. She has so many friends, such an enormous circle of people that loved her and connected with her. Am I with you, my dear? You can't connect with can't relate to somebody who had a terrible, sudden, infectious illness that took her to the spirit. I still do feel I'm over there. Somebody's not taking this, but I do feel I'm with someone there. I'm just directed over there. I'll pop her on someone's lap in a minute. Yes. The name Elizabeth relates somewhere to this lady, to this girl. The name Elizabeth, whether it's her name or close associated with her. There's also William that associates with this girl, and I feel William, not Bill. I do feel William associates with this girl. Somewhere this name associates with this girl, and I do feel that she was still studying. She was of an age where she was still studying for advancement, but she was still studying. She was still reading and learning and studying. It's most unusual for a connection not to be taken. Most unusual. I know I'm over there. Pardon? It could be with you. I just. Yeah. Yeah. But you can equate to that age as well. Scarlet fever. See, I felt something with yeah. I just felt with a terrible temperature. She was way up, kind of danger level with the temperature. You know what I mean? You accept that. I know my father years and years ago, he's passed a long while ago, but he has scarlet fever and always related to us just how terrible the condition was. You don't hear of it much these days, do you? But it was sudden. It came on really quick. Kind of knocked us sideways. Would you understand this? Yeah. But I knew I was in that kind of area there. But as she comes close again, I feel that once again you must draw this lady into your mind at times. Would you understand this at times? Yeah. But yeah. I'll move on because there's other people perhaps to give a message to. But thanks for taking that. It's appreciated, and I do know that this young lady, by coming through, wanted that connection to be established. Okay, thank you, bless you, thanks. Right, we've just got time for another one or so. Right. Yeah. I have a gentleman stepping forward here now. As he connects with me, I feel I've got Dad for somebody here. As he comes close, I do understand from connecting with him that he would have lasted to his late 70s, possibly just into his young 80s, and I do feel that his passing was a once again, there's a heart condition there again, like we had earlier. But this situation with this gentleman, there's other issues there. There's other things that were going on at the very same time. But I do feel a heart attack was the actual thing that actually took him. But there were other health issues there. I'm even going into things that affected his life, like arthritis, and over here, aren't I? Am I with you in this end here? Yeah, oh no, I am. Yeah. Can anybody take this information with somebody with a heart who would have had a heart attack, kind of late 70s, early 80s, perhaps around that area? Am I with either of you two ladies here on the front?
My dad is 78 when he died, so we get into it.
Yeah.
He did have a heart condition,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
No. But I just feel there was other issues, as I mentioned, but I do feel there was a heart condition there. Would you accept that? Something related to his heart. Would you understand that? Yeah. And would you understand that this gentleman, as he comes through, I'll try and describe him a bit for you. And I would say around about 5'8" in height. Would you accept that? So a little above average, perhaps. Yeah. And would I be right that towards the end of his life he would have lost hair, like male pattern with his hair loss? Would you not accept that he was receding? No. That he was kind of, the hair on the top was kind of wispy. Would you not have accepted that? No. Would I be with you then? Yeah.
He did die of a heart attack.
Yeah. I said there were some other issues there. So he had none on the top.
No,
He had a full head of hair. Well, I'm being shown this. I'll continue with you if I may, because that's just one aspect here, and see if we can just sort of. You can take it all. And would it be right that, as I say, the hair was like?
Hair was.
Yeah.
The hair is a very important message.
Right.
About the passing.
Yeah. Okay. So with this gentleman then. The heart condition was the main thing.
It was the reason he passed,
but there was arthritis.
There was a condition that caused him greater burden, that caused him to have a heart attack.
I understand.
But he did have arthritis.
But he was somebody who would complain about these things as well, because I feel there was an arthritic condition.
He would moan about things, but not about the right stuff.
No. Yeah. But as he comes close, once again, this reconnection with this gentleman is something that you would have missed this man when he went. Can you accept that? You really would have missed him, and you would have missed him dearly. You would recall him often, and I feel he's got a really cracking good sense of humour, but dry sense of humour. And I feel as he comes close that wonderful sense of humour was almost like your own. Would you accept that? So he could be quite outspoken. He could be very animated as well as when he was talking, a bit like me here tonight. I'm kind of doing him an impression of a windmill sometimes. But as he comes close to us here this evening, he has this perfect reason to come through, because he wants to talk about some accolade, almost like an award or something that he's telling me about. Would you understand this?
I understand.
You do, because he's mentioning this, and it's like a pat on the back. Would you understand this? And he wants you to understand also that on the spirit side, they're sitting up and taking notice. But they truly are. There's a lot of scurrying and activity on the other side, and they understand that from this tiny little village, tiny little town, that people are, or the spirit realm are zeroing in here and taking notice of what's happening, taking notice of the developments. Would you understand it? And I just want you to know that everything you do is appreciated and is treasured. Would you understand this? That's lovely. Thanks for working with me then, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful.
And you didn't realise that you gave a piece of evidence at the beginning because he's above it with this.
Yeah.
The one piece of evidence that you gave at the beginning that you didn't notice.
Right.
Dad.
Yeah. Excellent.
It is Dad.
That's lovely.
So you'll be getting your guidance home in your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Boswell.
Cool.
You know what? When he comes through, he wants to embarrass winding up. It's like the teeth or the bloody head. I'm going to be up. Good job, the microphone was attached when it said that. Dad kept asking me, because I used to cut Dad's hair for him. He had a triple crown and a receding 2 bits there. The triple crown was a pain in the backside, so I avoided cutting his hair at all costs until it was at least 5 times the length it needed to be. He wanted his hair cut the week before he passed away. So he didn't get a haircut before he went to spirit. So he took his long, shaggy look with him in his sandals and his shorts and his polo neck t-shirt. But yeah, that piece of evidence, the hair, is important because it's the one thing that I didn't do before he passed that I was supposed to. And certainly the dry sense of humour. Anyone who knew Frank Brown know that it's as arid as the desert. So thank you, Colin. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Boswell. And there's some comments there you can have a read at. Just down that side. Don't let me forget. I'll show them to you. No, Mum, it's 50 years old and needs rewiring. No, it's not 50 years old, but it's getting there. How long you lived in that house? It's not the bulb. It's a new bulb! And when you weren't looking, I swapped him over. So it's that slot. Behave. It's the wiring, dear. Trust me. Nigel's going to come and have a look, so don't panic. See what it's like. See what happens when he turns up. I don't know. But yeah, it's the wiring. Don't panic. Well, that's really not the right thing to say. It's the wiring. Don't panic. Nah, you'll be fine. But friends, thank you for coming tonight, and a huge She's still going off at the back. He ain't swapped the bulb over, really. It's the wiring. Hello. Oh, it's a shame the camera work turned round there. Let's see what happened. Bless you. Love you, really. There we go again. So I'm just going to ignore her while she chats. So, a big thank you to everyone for coming, and a big thank you to everyone online who's been commenting and supporting. It's greatly appreciated, and I know when I give Colin a chance to read his comments, he'll like them too. But tonight, of course, will be the socializing, the tea, and I have some very, very, very good news, because Mummy dear, she did go shopping yesterday and bought us a load of biscuits. So we've got chocolate chip cookies and digestives in the kitchen ready. I'm going to have a cup of tea tonight because, yeah, they're in the cupboard because they told me to put them away. I'll get the bourbons out as well because Dad's here. I've got to have the bourbons out. So we'll get the bourbons out again. But hopefully they'll all fit in the tub by... Well, there you go. Right, here's your mission. Whatever's left needs to fit in the tub by the end of the night. So get gobbling. You all right, dear? Good. But of course, enjoy them because Dad's favourite was the bourbon. Reminder, it's Louise Perry next week. I look forward to seeing those that will be at the Wavertree coffee shop in the Newmarket Stud on Sunday. And I believe that is just about it. Except, of course, for one thing. Because we all know it's been a bit of a rough couple of weeks. It's been tough for many reasons, for many people, for many different things. But you know me, I always like to end on a high. And I always think that it's important to be uplifted. And I also like to single people out and embarrass them. Because what many of you might not realise is that yesterday was Debbie's birthday. So after... oh no, I don't know whether I dare do this after the workshop on Sunday. We might have to do this twice. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you for yesterday. Happy birthday, dear Debbie. Happy birthday to you and many more. Oh, no, but no, I don't guess people's age. It's ungentlemanly to guess age. Happy birthday! Yeah, that's why we're getting the bourbons out, because it's your birthday yesterday. So there we go. For those that were at the workshop, though, do you want to remember, see if you can remember the 1, 2, 3? Now, that's a story you can all talk about over tea and coffee. Yes, it was it? That's something you could talk about over biscuits. It was funny as. Although I don't think that the district councillor who was checking the guttering, I have seen him since, so we didn't knock him off the roof. It's fine. Friends, let's join together and close this evening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for being able to come together through adversity and strife, but in joy and upliftment. We thank you for the opportunity to unite in companionship, love, laughter, group together in common cause and in common need, the need for connection and the need for acceptance. As we go out into the world, let us take that message with us. Let this place and each one of our hearts be a beacon of connection, acceptance, love, truth, and light. And so, until we meet again, we know that in times of strife, we do not ask to move the mountain. Just give us the strength to climb. Until we are all united again in this place next week, again. Amen. Well, that was a different one. Told you it should all come from the heart, not be by rote, and I was getting a little bit repetitive, so they've mixed it up a bit. There we go. See, I do listen at my own workshops sometimes. Friends, thank you all again. See you all next week. Do stay for tea, coffee, and refreshments. We're going to say goodbye to everybody online in a moment so that we can have our raffle. But one final time for everyone here and everyone at home, a big thank you, Colin Boswell. And to everyone at home, after 3, 1, 2, 3, good night. And God bless you all. And so now get your raffle tickets